It doesn't matter if you're a beginner or a seasoned player in Stardew Valley. In this tips video, you're going to take away a few things that will make life a little bit easier for you. Let's talk about buff foods. Now I've spoken about these things before, but we're going to talk about it a little bit more. The roots platter you can make very early on with a cave card and a winter root. You don't even need to upgrade the house. Just make the cookout kit, which you get at level 3 foraging. If you cut down enough trees, you can even get level 3 foraging on day number 1. The roots platter gives you a +3 to attack, which is very significant starting out in the game. Even if you had a rusty sword or any sort of beginner weapon, it gives you a huge buff. The cookout kit has many other uses. It basically serves as a portable cooker. You can buy coffees off Gus, purchase the triple shot espresso recipe, and you can make yourself triple shot espressos very early in the game, provided you have the cash for the coffees. This gives you a significant speed buff for the good duration of time. While we're talking about buffs, let's talk about Marcelo here. He visits twice every season. Now Marcelo will always sell you a range of different books. Some are skill books. Sometimes though he will sell you books of power. Treasure Appraisal Guide there, for example. That's quite rare. If you have the cash, trust me, buy it. But Marcelo has another ability, and if you exploit it, especially in the early days of spring, you can end up with an extremely powerful first season. You can trade in books to good old Marcelo here. Now a lot of the items that you get from trading in books are quite significant. We have the slime egg press, we've got artifact jobs, we've got fairy dust, we've got sea jellies, but what he also has at the very bottom there is a monster musk. Now sometimes Marcelo will sell you a combat quarterly. You can buy it off him and then trade it back in for the monster musk. If you activate a monster musk early on in your Stardew Valley adventure, especially in an infested floor, you can absolutely skyrocket your combat skill. It is one of the best ways by far, especially in spring, to max out your combat skill. Now we didn't get any infested floors today, but if you jump into the elevator and go to floor 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 and just take the ladder down into the next floor, if it's an infested floor, you're in luck, friend. Just rinse and repeat and skyrocket your combat. Also, you'll get tons of resources in the process. Let's talk about hoeing spots. Now the majority of players know that you can hoe up a huge variety of things from these hoeing spots. Let's zoom into this one. This is what a regular hoeing spot looks like. You just got some wriggling worms there popping out of the ground. But did you know that you can come across different coloured hoeing spots? This one here is green, and you're always going to get either carrots, broccoli, summer squash or powder melons from the green hoeing spots, depending on what season you're in or how close you are to going into the next season. Now it is definitely worth your time to plant these crops, because these crops give you exceptional levels of energy and health. The interesting thing about all of these seasonal crops is that the summer squash, the powder melon and the broccoli all give the exact same amount of energy and health. The carrot, however, is the superior crop. It just gives you more for some reason. It gives you more energy and more health. You can get the carrot in spring. So if you get carrots in spring, plant them, love them, grow them up and eat them. You will benefit from it. Day number 1. What is the best way to proceed? There's tons of different tactics. I recommend you get at least 1 skill up in mining on day number 1. Or at the very least, try to get 1 skill up in mining before day number 5, before the mines opens up. As we can see, I started hitting open rocks from 6 o'clock. It's now just before 9 o'clock and I've already gotten a skill up in mining, and I've got the rest of the day to do whatever I want. Why level 1 mining is so important? Cherry bombs plus pickaxe proficiency. Less energy when you swing the pickaxe. Cherry bombs are absolutely lethal in the early stages. And I'm not just talking about clearing up rocks or saving energy. You can use the cherry bomb as a weapon if you end up with the rusty sword. Sometimes you can get lucky and you can get a broken trident or the Neptune's glaive or something like that, and you can 1 or 2 shot most of the enemies before you get to the mid tier. But if you're like 90% of people that go into the mines in day number 5 and they have the rusty sword, don't be afraid to make a few cherry bombs and make your life a little bit easier. They're absolutely great for grubs. They'll one-shot the grubs for you, so they don't morph into those pesky flies that can be difficult to defeat with a starter weapon. Let's talk about vendors. Most of us know Robin closes on a Tuesday, she goes to the gym. But if you can grab her just as she walks past the desk, You can access her full services, shop, upgrade house, and she can make structures. Not only that, this also extends to other vendors too, like Clint. We all know Clint closes at 4 o'clock, which is a right pain. But if you get into Clint and it goes after 4 o'clock, he actually keeps on working. And he'll work up until 6 or 7 o'clock before he decides to go off to the pub for a drink. This is significant because if you really want to get a tool upgraded and you have the resources, just take the furnace with you into his shop. Let's talk about the wonders of wild bait, but it all starts with the hash brown recipe. Now, a lot of people that watch my challenge videos know how important this is to get early Dish of the Seas, to push our fishing skill up to 10 so we can hook up some legends. But Dish of the Sea also serves another purpose. First of all, let me show you how easy it is to make this. To make the hash browns, all you need are some spuds and some oil and you are good to go. Combine that with some sardines you can get down on the beach and you can make Dish of the Seas. You can buy oil off Pierre. Now with all of these Dish of the Seas, you can actually give them to Linus here. It's a loved gift. So if you haven't got access to the desert, if you can't get access to cactus fruits or coconuts, you can give this beautiful man Dish of the Seas for friendship points. If you get him to 4 hearts, he will give you wild bait. Now here's a bonus tip, okay? Always check the wiki and other external sources before you go and plan a big challenge. Because I was under the impression I could use wild bait to get me a double legend, but you can't. You can use wild bait to get legend 2s, no problem, to get double legend 2s, but for some reason wild bait doesn't work against the original legendary fishies. But it's still a great piece of bait to use to make extra money for regular fish. Let's talk about super buff foods, the sea foam pudding. Did you know if you get to Ginger Island, when it gets to the evening time, you can go to the dig site area and you can pull up, that's right, midnight carps. You don't have to wait until fall, friends, you can get them at Ginger Island. Go back to the beach and fish yourself up a flounder, then go into the mines and kill some squid kids in the hopes that they will drop squid ink. Now if you're lucky, you can also get a squid from the travelling cart. If you get one that way, trust me, fire it into a fish pond. Combine all three together to make a sea foam pudding. It's the best fishing buff food out there. Now here's something a lot of people definitely don't know. When you make a slime hutch, we all know that slimes will start dropping slime eggs and you can sell those for huge money. It's a very profitable experience. Even the green slimes will drop slime eggs worth over 1,000 gold. That's worth more than a diamond. And you can even set yourself up with very specific combat builds so that you get tons of eggs per day. For example, if you used the burglar ring, where monsters can drop more loot. Now here's the thing about the slime hutch. A lot of people don't like the look of the slime hutch. They don't want this big ugly building in their farm. And despite the fact that 1.6 has made it smaller, you can actually go and destroy the slime hutch after you've built it. Go to the Wizard's Tower or Robin. But here's the best part, right? If you destroy it, you will not lose the perk where slimes drop slime eggs. They will still drop the slime eggs for you. You can still profit. So if you're playing through Spring Year 1 and you get an Iridium bar, make the slime hutch, you will appreciate the extra bit of income that you get every time a slime drops a slime egg. Most of us that play Stardew Valley often choose Miner plus 1 ore per vein, but what if you choose Geologist and then Excavator, chance to find geodes doubled? Is this actually profitable? Well, let's combine it with the Statue of Dwarf King perk, greater chance to find geodes. Go into the Skull Caverns, do a couple of runs, and I absolutely guarantee you, you will come out of there stacked up to the top with Omni Geodes. What do you do with thousands and thousands of Omni Geodes? There's actually a good few things you can do with them. You can go to the Desert Trader, you can trade them in for loads of things, artifact troves, warp totems, you can even trade them in for really cool hats. You can get the prismatic turban, the prismatic cowboy hat. But for this video, we're going to trade them in for artifact troves, and I want to see how much money I'm going to get for all of the contents that comes out of these beautiful artifact troves. We've got just under 200 artifact troves we get to break open. Now you're going to see very quickly that the items you get inside artifact troves are quite limited. Despite the fact that we had almost 200 of these troves, we don't end up filling up our inventory. Look at all the things we're getting here. Treasure chests, they're worth 5,000 gold. Golden pumpkins, pearls, they're worth 2,500 gold. We're also getting treasure appraisal guides. They triple the value of all artifact goods. which is absolutely amazing. We're going to sell all of these things. We also got ancient seeds there too. I did sell them, but look, they're worth a lot more when you plant them in the ground. But for the purposes of this little experiment, we're just going to sell everything to see what we get. Before we sell everything, just make sure you have that Book of Power enabled that triples the value of all artifacts. Let's see what a full stack of Omni Geodes got for us. 138,000 gold. Honestly, that's not bad from just detonating open nodes in Skull Caverns over a couple of days, you know? It's extra bit of money, it was pretty nice. Just so you know, the treasure appraisal guide, it doesn't increase the price of pearls, treasure chests or golden pumpkins, they always remain the same price. If you want to keep the pearls and the golden pumpkins to use them as universal love gifts, work away. That's another very handy tip that you can use from getting all of those Omni Geodes. The last tip is about Junimo huts, and I'm putting this in here because I never ever use Junimo huts, and I should, because these huts have been buffed since the 1.6 update. They still cost the same amount of resources to put down on the ground. However, you can now use a dehydrator, you can dry out some grapes, make raisins. If you put raisins into the hut, there's a chance that your Junimos will get you a double harvest every time they harvest up a crop. This could be ancient fruit, it could be star fruit, rhubarb, the most powerful crops around, it could be sweet gem berries, and all you need are raisins, and they're just so easy to make. You get a free dehydrator if you select the mushroom cave. And because the Junimos are picking up the crops, you don't have to, you can use your time to do other things. And there you go folks, this is just a very small tips video that I wanted to make. I hope you all have a magnificent winter, and I hope you subscribe to the channel if you found this video helpful. Thanks very much everyone, I appreciate you. I'll see you very soon in the next Stardew Valley video.